So I'm naturally quite an anxious person. And on top of that, I get trip anxiety. Whenever we get ready to go on a trip, my anxiety becomes worse. And this time especially, we're going on a large trip. We're going to Europe. We're going to London and Paris. We're taking 4 teenagers, so me and my husband are responsible for the safety of these 4 teenagers. 2 of them are ours and 2 of them are my daughter's friends. And so my trip anxiety has turned up to 11. And when I get anxious like that, it's very difficult for me to function. I shut down. And on top of that, I've never been to Paris. I'm going with my family and these 2 little girls that are not my family, but I've seen them grow up. I care for them deeply. So I'm going with people I enjoy their company. I love them. And I wanted to enjoy this trip. I didn't want this trip to be full of anxiety. And I was trying to think, what can I do to kind of change this around? And I remembered something that Bill Hicks said. And I wanted to put it here in case anybody else needed to hear this today. And I'll put a link in the description of the video where he says this quote. And he said, "The world is like a ride in an amusement park. And when you choose to go on it, you think it's real because that's how powerful our minds are. The ride goes up and down, around and around. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud. And it's fun for a while. Many people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to wonder, hey, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us and say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride." And that's what I remembered. I remembered that this is just a ride, and I don't have to be afraid ever, because this is just for fun. And that really calmed me. And then on top of that, when you're getting ready for a trip, there's so many things that need to be done, and the to-do list is so long. You have to do this and that and this and that, especially when you're the only one of 2 adults that is responsible for a large trip for 6 people, 4 children. And I was feeling overwhelmed because I work very slowly. I'm a very methodical worker. I really enjoy the details. I enjoy taking my time and working on the details, and I need the space and the time to do that. And when I'm not given the space and the time, I feel very claustrophobic, and once again, I shut down. And I was feeling guilty that I function like that. I felt like I was not working correctly because I wasn't working fast enough. I wasn't working efficiently enough. And that is when I wrote to myself. When I start to shut down and not function very well, I write notes to myself. And this is what I wrote to myself today. You are a slow, methodical person who enjoys the tiny details. And it's wonderful that you're like that. You add to the goodness in the world just by being you, because the world needs all types. So be yourself and enjoy it. So those are my 2 messages. If anybody else needs to hear those today, I certainly did. I've not been functioning very well as we get ready for this trip. One is, it's okay. It's just a ride. You don't need to be afraid. Just enjoy yourself. And the second is, be yourself. The world needs you just the way you are because the world needs all types. So be yourself and enjoy it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.